happening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land? I got a good one for you today. Oh yeah, the long-awaited Generation 3 Benjamin Marauder has finally hit the shelves. Head over to TerminatorIndustries.com, pick yourself up one before they sell out. Now, looky here. We've been grinding in the Terminator labs to make a couple of improvements over this PCP right here, and I think you guys are going to be curious to try out some of these new components. So first off, let me just go over the features of the Benjamin Marauder Gen 3 real quick. This one's in 22 cal. They come in 22 and 25. It's got a really nice tunable trigger, adjustable cheek comb, aluminum Picatinny rail and block, but it's all billet. Huge plenum, 600cc aluminum bottle, BS8 barrel, which in my opinion is a pretty good upgrade over the old Marauder barrels for a couple reasons. And then there's a couple swivel studs on there, and then there's an M-lock slot right on the bottom there for mounting a Picatinny rail, as well as a Picatinny bipod. So now first thing I noticed is that the Picatinny bipod mount location for some shooters might seem like it's a little bit more towards the middle. You know, a lot of times for precision you want your bipod farther forward out front for the maximum stability, the most distance between your rear sandbag and then your front bipod legs. Now that way it's real stable. So what we ended up doing is our bottle band with the M-lock bipod pushes the legs out a little bit more forward, and then as well, very stable shooting platform. It's got all the clicks, you know, to raise or lower it. And then if your shooting platform's not quite level, you know, you can go half clicks with this micro adjuster and lock it in to place as far as half clicks. And then that way, once you're shooting, these things don't move. Your cant stays the same throughout your whole shot group, and that tends to keep the groups really nice and consistent, in my opinion. And then next thing I noticed is it comes with a built-in aluminum moderator, which screws into the aluminum barrel shroud. So you can't really put aftermarket moderators on these straight from the factory. So what we went ahead and did is we offer this carbon fiber tension shroud kit. So what that does is you'll notice when you take off your other shroud, the barrel is actually threaded 1/2 UNF for PCP moderators. So you can actually attach your moderator directly to the end of the barrel. So the way our tension shroud kit works is it comes with our carbon fiber tube as well as the front and rear caps to tension the carbon fiber. And then on this setup right here, as you can see, we've got the barrel harmonics kit. Now our barrel harmonics grommets, they fit with the carbon fiber shroud as well as the OEM aluminum shroud. So if you want to start off with an easy upgrade, you know, just order a set of these harmonics dampeners, and then you can put those right underneath your OEM setup, put your OEM silencer back on. But otherwise, grab you one of these kits. Carbon fiber, inexpensive upgrade. It looks real cool and adds some tension to the barrel. So basically, once you get that going, you slide that over your front cap, and then when you screw your moderator on, it stretches on that. Actually, it compresses the carbon and stretches the barrel a little bit, just giving a little bit more stiffness to the barrel. Since from the factory it's a free floater, giving it that tension gives it a little bit more stiffness for it's not whipping during the shot cycle. Now straight away at longer distances, that should tighten up your grouping. So using our basic bottle band bipod setup and the barrel shroud, and then also we have our carbon fiber, the eliminator moderator out front. I mean, that's a pretty cool upgrade right there. Just like that, you can shoot all day and have a good time. So let me go over some of the things I noticed about this platform when I received it. It's a hefty, kind of weighty PCP. Being that this rifle is kind of like probably targeted towards paper punching and accuracy, precision, and bench resting, it comes with this 600cc aluminum bottle. So if you switch it out to a carbon fiber bottle, you know, you're going to save some weight, but then with a target rifle, you want it heavy. So this is kind of a good bottle to have on this build You know, since it's 600 cc, if you swap it out, probably you're going to get a 580 cc carbon, so you're going to lose a little volume, lose a little bit of that weight. So I would kind of say just leave this aluminum bottle on. You know, keeps the rifle heavier, and it's a pretty good capacity straight out of the box for a 250 bar fill PCP. And you know, since this PCP already comes with the balance valve straight from the factory, it's efficient, you get plenty of shots, so you probably don't really need to go to 300 bar. Oh yeah, a couple of other things I forgot to mention about this rifle is the external regulator adjustment, which is right here, is very convenient to get to. The external hammer spring adjuster is easily accessible right here in the rear through the cutaway in the stock. And then the mag well is super deep. So looking at the size of this plenum and the depth of this mag well, I haven't tuned this thing to the max output yet, but I would assume based on those details that this thing is capable of pushing some serious power and shooting some heavy projectiles, you know, some heavy slugs like your 40 grain boat tails and so forth, out to longer distances. So the way this rifle comes from the factory is free floating. Some guys might not believe in attaching the barrel to the bottle like how I have in this configuration here. And for those users of that opinion, I mean, I made a bottle band just for you guys. So we'll swap that out real quick. Let's pop off the LDC, front cap. Let's take this bottle band off. The fuck? There's no battery on there. Okay, so we built this overbore bipod holder. It's got the M-lock slots on the sides, so that, as you can see here, I've added some weights, which gives you about another 1.5 pounds. And then you've got the option to use these G-Shock bushings around your barrel, or just to leave the barrel free floating inside this hoop, and then you'll have about 2 millimeters of open space around your free floating barrel. So for you guys that like to tinker, you know, you can try it both ways, you know, with or without the G-Shock grommets, and test your grouping. Have some fun. But yeah, let's put this on real quick. Slide this first grommet on. Barrel. So in order to get this thing perfectly straight up and down, I recommend just sliding one of the grommets in. Or actually just slide both of them in a bit there so it's straight up and down. Then you can go ahead and snug it up. Hardware. Okay, so it installs just as easy as that. Put our shroud cap back on, our LDC, add a little tension to the barrel, and then yeah, so now that you have your grommets over there, when you want to test your grouping without them, just pull them out. Now the barrel's free floating, and then if you wanted to test your grouping with them, you know, you could slide them all the way in. And then your overbore bipod, it's got this handy quick detach button on the top mount, and then it just sits on there like so. It's a really cool UTG bipod. The legs swivel, and then they have height adjustment. You can set it up to where it just hangs and swivels, or you could level it up and then snug it up, tighten it up so it doesn't move. It also can rotate this way, side to side, and you can tighten and loosen, you know, how stiff the resistance is on all those settings. So with your overbore bipod, sandbag in the rear, you know, you should be able to accomplish some pretty good precision accuracy out to longer ranges. I also put a small Picatinny mount right on the front here, so that if you wanted to, you could mount your chronograph. This is the FX Pocket chronograph V2, and like that you can mount that right in front. So now you're getting your velocities to see how your tune is and see how your regulator is working, you know, with your shot-to-shot deviation. And then you can test with the barrel kind of snugged in there with the G-Shock bushings, and then without, just free floating. But both ways, you know, the carbon fiber shroud kit gives it tension. So with those three different configurations, you should be able to find something to whatever your tune is, your projectile. Then you can find which one of those options gives you the best grouping downrange, and then just stick with that for a while. And then, you know, sometimes if you might go from like a low power where you're shooting 18 grain pellets to maybe now you're shooting 40 grain slugs and you've got a higher power configuration, yeah, test those with or without the grommets again, and then see how those components might affect the high power tune versus just the plinkers tune. Just wanted to give you guys out there as many options as you guys need to get that maximum precision. So yeah, I'm really stoked about these. I'm excited. Hopefully some of y'all guys out there will get this set up and give me some feedback on how you like it and which configuration worked best for you. But yeah, check out the website, terminateindustries.com. All this stuff's available right now. You can get this PCP off of our website as well. In 22 cal, these things have a 15 shot mag from the factory, so that's pretty cool. And then yeah, with this setup right here, I mean, adds a little bit more heft for on your shot cycle, so the rifle doesn't move around as much. Should keep you hitting where you want to be hitting, whether you're hunting or doing target work. And then lastly, as far as the optic on this one, we went with the 5-25 by 56 EDPRS Discovery optic, available at terminateindustries.com. So if you wanted to build a replica of this rifle right there, you can get everything off of our website, shipped to your door. I appreciate everybody out there in the Terminated Army for trusting the Terminated Industries products and supporting the business, local business in America, baby. So that's about all I got, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.